So the reason I want to talk about this is not to stir up any additional drama or anything of that kind. I want to make people aware of a certain situation that's happening regarding the new Tower of God mobile game that's coming out soon, Tower of God New World, which is looking fantastic. And recently the cast list was announced along with a bunch of new information that I'll put up on screen here. I won't make a whole video about it, but maybe a short or something about the gameplay and some of the artwork and the voice actors, both Japanese and English. Now, the Japanese voices are the same as from the anime. We have all the same beloved voice actors that we got to hear in the sub for Tower of God. But what people took note of was that the dub actors are all completely different. Now, when I first saw this, I just kind of assumed it was normal because usually dubbing companies, things are handled differently when companies want their game to be translated. They might approach a different company than the one that was done for the anime, and it can get kind of messy. I am a voice actor in the space, and I know how complicated recasting and things can be. But recently, Laura Post, who was the English voice of Black March in the anime, quick interjection, Laura Post also voices Hua Ryun. I feel like I should also say that. She recently came out with a Twitter thread that went into more detail behind what actually happened regarding the English dubbing casting for this game, and it's pretty messy. She starts by saying, "You may or may not have noticed there's a cool new Tower of God game coming out, and you may or may not have noticed that the cast, which is full of awesome people, which they are, I love the casting, I know personally some of them and they're all amazing, it's different from the anime. Would you like to know why?" And I'm not going to read everything verbatim. I'm gonna put the whole Twitter thread in the description and I'm gonna show it on screen. But Laura goes into detail stating that the reason that there was this huge problem regarding getting the original cast back was actually Crunchyroll. What happened was that the client wanted to dub the game using the original voice cast going through a different studio when Crunchyroll stepped in. Crunchyroll said, "We own the voice prints of all of these actors, and we're not going to let you use them for the game." They don't. Crunchyroll does not own their Tower of God-oriented voice prints. Laura reviewed her contract. She had her lawyers review her contract. Doesn't happen. Now, of course, that does happen sometimes, but for this specific job, it wasn't. It wasn't the case. Crunchyroll was essentially just kind of lying, I guess, about this situation. Now, you might be like, why would Crunchyroll do this, right? Why would Crunchyroll go to all this trouble to not let a client use their actors? Because it was a union job. And I'm not gonna go into detail, but those of you who know, you know. Now, the craziest part about this, and I'm glad Laura spent a lot of time detailing this, the craziest part was that not only did Crunchyroll say, so, okay, you can't use the voice prints, but you cannot let these actors be any characters in the game. Anybody. You cannot use these actors, period, in your game. And so, first of all, okay, it's one thing to claim that we have the voice print of Laura Post as Black March, for example, or Johnny Young Bosch's 25th Bomb. It's one thing to say that, it's already wrong, it's not in the contract, but to then go on to state that you just can't use the actors, period. That even goes outside the voice print issue that they were talking about. So they were blacklisted. They couldn't audition for the project, period. Again, it's like, there's a completely different thing here between like, you can't reprise your role, but you also can't even audition. You can't even get cast as a different character. That is crazy. That is crazy considering there was nothing even about that in the contract. Like even reprising your original role, but especially just, you can't even be in it. So ultimately the client didn't want to get into a legal battle, said, okay, we're gonna hire new actors, I guess. And Laura I agree with this, Laura said this, that they didn't try to like imitate the originals. They went with a completely new idea for the characters. And again, and Laura even says that like, the new cast is fantastic. I'm gonna play some of the voice clips on screen.
Everything I love is here.
Smells like turtles. It's hunting time.
Dive head first into the waves of change.
It's been a while since I've seen the blood of the battlefield.
So Laura goes on to state, we already knew Crunchyroll wasn't actor friendly. There's been a number of cases in the past of examples of this. The biggest one, there was a huge controversy about Mob Psycho Season 3. that was an entire thing. I'm sure you can, there's more information about that I won't get into. But ultimately, Laura stating that unless there's a union contract involved, I will not be working with Crunchyroll anymore. And I strongly encourage other actors to do the same. So ultimately, if you're wondering why the English cast is different, that is the reason. They were able to keep the original Japanese cast, but the entire English cast is different, which it's just crazy that they can't even audition. Like Crunchyroll stepping in to be like, so hey, just not happening. You can't even, the whole situation blows my mind, and I'm really glad that Laura made people aware of this situation. Because again, initially I just thought, well, they hired a different team. It happens. I've been recast before. This kind of thing happens. But no, it's alerting and alluding to a much deeper and more serious problem. So there you go. That is some of the update on what's happening, this drama regarding the actor. I hesitate to call it drama, you know, it's because it implies that like actors are targeting actors, and they're not. Like clearly the new cast is amazing, the old cast is more than happy with the new cast. It's not an issue of that, it's an issue of Crunchyroll. I want people to be aware that this is happening. As somebody who's both in the Tower of God space and voiceover space, I felt like I was obligated to bring this issue up to more people so that you can be aware of it, because it's, knowing Crunchyroll, almost certainly going to happen again in the future. But yeah, again, threads are down below if you want to look into it more. And with that being said, I've got another video in the works that you can expect very soon regarding Tower of God lore, so look forward to that very soon. Take care, guys.